All right, this is my Streets Double O video. I had created a essay video a couple weeks ago when I got that 155. Um, so I thought I would go ahead and do Double O as well and point out some differences between the two difficulties. And I still think that the existing tutorials are super helpful and are worth watching. And I think the essay video is helpful if you want to go watch that. But yeah, like I said, I'd like to maybe point out some differences between the two levels. So there definitely is a lot of overlap. So if you go for essay, you're pretty much going for double O as well. A lot of your experience from essay will carry over to double O. So, but yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and just talk about the run and maybe point out some things that I had missed from essay. So this is my run that I got a couple days ago. So the first thing is you want to start out in 2.4 cinema. I should also mention that this video might be a bit redundant from essay, but I'm just gonna treat anyone who watches this like they haven't seen my essay video. So probably a lot of things will be repeated. But anyways, so you want to start out in 2.4 control style so that you can shoot in one of the opening cutscenes if you get it. And you also want to be in 2.4 so that you're building up speed before the run starts. So that saves you about 0.3 seconds. I prefer cinema because it helps you see corners easier, I think. And especially right at the beginning, there's a guard that it's easier to react to if you're in cinema compared to wide or full. So so I had done my essay run in wide for a while. I think it's okay, but I still think cinema is better. But I did see a video or a forum post or something that someone had mentioned that full actually might technically be the fastest because you're loading less things in the level, but in terms of like being able to control bond, I think cinema and wide would be easier. But anyways, I digress. I think cinema was the best choice that I had found. So 2.4 cinema, you'll get two different cutscenes. You'll get one or the other. So this is one of the cutscenes that I got where you don't have to worry about shooting in the opening cutscene with your second controller. If you get the other cutscene, it's a showing of the street, and there will be 3 guards standing across. If you get that cutscene, then you need to shoot on your second controller. So your second controller should be cruise controlled and then rubber banded to the right so that you're in right strafe. If you get the other cutscene where it's the street, you will click A twice on your second controller and then you'll shoot. I like to shoot anywhere from 3 bullets to full clip. If you shoot just one, you might not lure the guards. So I think at least 3 is good, and maybe the whole clip. I do want to mention that on the other cutscene, there's you're luring guards but you don't want to shoot the guard that's to the very bottom left. So he does have some reactions where you'll shoot and then he'll immediately go like right where your bullets are going to be shooting. So you might shoot once, or you might just be spraying your clip without really watching, and you'll kill the guard. So if you want to be, maximizing the potential of every single run that you're doing, shooting 1 or 2 bullets in that cutscene and then just waiting to see that guard's reaction can make it so you don't end up killing that guard like 20% of the time that you get that cutscene. So if you want to be as efficient as possible, shooting like 2 bullets, seeing how that guard reacts, and then shooting the rest of the clip seems to be ideal. Or at least shooting like 1 or 2, waiting, and then shooting a couple more. So anyways, but I get this cutscene, so you don't have to do anything. And then you're gonna watch this cutscene as well. That's just getting behind Bond. So you want to be holding left down, and you're in right strafe. So this is kind of just a feel thing where you'll just be holding left down, and you'll know after experience how long you need to hold it down before you're where you need to be. In this run, I need to adjust a little bit, which I think is fine. So I had been holding left, but I held it down just a little bit too far, so I adjust to the right a little bit. You're aiming for this corner right here. I mean, you can get stuck here, but like you're holding way too far down left if you're getting stuck there. Sharp turn. You're aiming for like here. Compared to SA, these guards kind of troll you a little bit more often. If these guys back boost you, then I would just restart the run. They kind of do some things where sometimes they'll run in front of you, they'll shoot you. Sometimes they both run together and like completely block your path, which is kind of troll. Sharp turn. I think this is where cinema is super helpful, because this guy, you can save a lot of runs that otherwise you get stuck on him based on how you see, like how quick you see him and how quick you react to where he is. So most of the time he's like here, sometimes he's up here and you can't see him, and sometimes he's like back here, I think. And so if he's here, I mean, your goal is to be as tight to this as possible, but sometimes he's in your way and you need to kind of just quickly turn right then left to get around him. But if he's like here, then this is the optimal path so you just kind of go to the left of him. But if he's like directly in your way, you can just turn right left really quick and you'll get around him and you could save the run. Sometimes he's up here, in which case if he's just standing already shooting at you, you're gonna get back boosted. And if he's kneeling, he's probably still gonna back boost you, but there's still a chance you don't get back boosted. If he's rolling or running or whatever, then that's super good. That means he's not gonna back boost you. Sometimes he's behind, I think, and you can get boosted from behind. But you're aiming for this corner here. Sharp turn. You don't want to get, obviously you don't want to run into this wall. So you're aiming like here-ish. And I mentioned this in my essay video, and I think it's still relevant here. If you go into, if you just put on cheats like invisible or whatever, and you just go here, I think it's helpful to just see this area while looking up to just kind of understand where where things are and how you're moving through this area. I think it's helpful. But it's just like a line and you're trying not to get cut on these corners. Compared to essay, you can actually get, I think it rarely, if ever, happened getting boosted by this dude over on this side, but on double O it actually did happen a lot more often. Still rare, still like on the rare side, but can happen, which is annoying. And I think also compared to essay, you can get boosted like before you turn the corner fully. So I think you need to be, if you're coming from essay, I think you need to start being prepared for getting boosted before you even turn the corner, which happens in this run. Like I get boosted right here, and usually that's just not the case on essay. So you just have to be ready to like immediately adjust and turn. You know, ideally you want to be getting boosted at this point, but and I think audio is also super important in this section. So listening out for guards shooting at you. If you're hearing consistent shooting and it's not just a burst, if it's just a burst and there's no more shooting, then you're probably not going to get boosted and you won't have to worry about adjusting. But if you're getting shot at consistently by like, and even by several guards behind you, then you need to be more prepared for expecting a boost. And I also think, well, first I'll say this guard here can do some things. Like if he's walking or running at you and shooting you, you're probably going to get back boosted. And I mean, unless you're getting like, if you get two forward boosts and then one back boost, then I still think that's all right to like play at the level. But other than that, like if you're getting boosted or back boosted to the point where you're going even or negative before the hut, then I don't think it's worth playing at the level. I'll just restart. But yeah, but if he like runs or walks this way, then that's pretty ideal. I turn early, so let me go back actually. So got boosted. You're not aiming for like the perfect corner because you get stuck here. And also if you're too far left, this guard has more of a chance of back boosting you. So being like to the side of the door I think is good. Compared to essay, I think you get boosted pretty late here more often. So it's helpful to and this might just be something that comes with experience, where on double O you expect this late boost a lot more often. And so you essentially need to maybe get ready to catch the boost and turn sooner, which I do in this run where I turn because I think I'm getting back boosted, but I end up not getting back boosted. So I kind of turn early because I thought I was going to get boosted and have to ride the boost around the corner. But it worked out where this guard over here was kind of running to the right, so he wasn't going for the back boost. So it worked out. You want to aim for like here. I had this graphic in my essay video if you want to go look at that. It kind of it's from a forum post that explains how Val works, his like sight lines and his range. But generally, yeah, you want to aim for like here. If you aim too far to the right, you'll get this long message where essentially you had gone into his range and then back out. So he gets like upset that you're too far away now. So if you're getting that message, then you need to aim more to the left, and then you'll know if you're too far to the, or what did I just say? If you're getting that message, then you need to aim more to the left. You'll know you're too far to the left if when you come out of the pause, Val hasn't even started like looking at you. So you're aiming for about here, and ideally you would run up for like just like a little bit, like less than half a second. You're running up against this wall and then pausing. You don't want to pause early. Like you don't want to pause early before you even hit the wall, because your goal is not for you to get into pause as soon as possible. It's for Val to see you as soon as possible. So you don't want to like pause early and then your momentum bring you into Val's sight lines. Your goal is to get into Val's sight lines as soon as possible, and then you'll click pause. So you're running up against the wall a little bit, then hitting pause. Switching to 1.2, coming out, and I'm holding left strafe at this point. So it's kind of hard to see, but like you can see he's turned towards me, so I know I ran into the wall at the correct spot. And also looking at this timer, we're going left strafe. He's starting to talk to me with this single line at high 41, so I think that's pretty decent. And again, if you're getting a long message that's like 3 lines long, at least in the Japanese version, then you're too far to the right on the wall when you came in. So we're coming in, we're gonna strafe Val to the corner, as far into the corner as possible. Usually like 3 or 4 strafes will do it. I've seen runs where it feels like people do the strafe a little bit differently. Like some people are looking straight down, and then other people are like looking straight up, and then there's variations. I mentioned this in my essay video, but looking straight down I think gives you a better idea of how close you are to like behind you. But I think ultimately I was just doing kind of either method, like looking a little bit down or just looking straight down. But you want to get him like into this corner as far as possible. If you get too far into the corner, you're gonna get stuck. It seems like ideally if you get caught in the corner but you're able to warp to the right of him, then that's ideal. But you risk being too far into the corner and not being able to warp to the right, in which case you have to go left, and you risk getting shot by the guards and kind of falling behind when it comes to the protect. So I think with experience, you get an understanding of how many strafes you need, how far to the corner you can get without getting fully caught. Yeah. So strafing about 3 or 4 times to the corner. At this point, you should be expecting guards, usually 2 at first. I just have 1 at the very beginning. I'm shooting and I'm also tilting my angle up so that I can go for body and headshots. Your goal is to get the KF7 like as soon as possible. I think in a normal run, you'd have 2 guards that you kill with your pistol, and then you'll switch to your KF7. Hopefully you get the KF7, because sometimes the guards will like throw it not in your direction, and that's kind of a pain. You might have to run out and into the hallway to grab it and then back in. You can also try to essentially kill guards with your pistol until one of them throws you their KF7. But if you're going full, just using the pistol to kill every single guard, usually you'll fall behind on the protect. You won't be able to leave in time. So ideally, you get the KF7 as soon as possible. If there's 2 guards, even if you get the KF7 from the first guard, I think it's worth wasting the second guard with your pistol and then switching to KF7. And this run, I get one person, I get one guard. He throws me to Kev 7. I hadn't seen the second guard, so I thought I had time to switch to Kev 7. So I had clicked A at this point. Now there's two guards looking at me, and this guy's in his shooting animation. So I've had plenty of runs where I get back boosted at this point, and I get back boosted into the corner behind Val, and I'm already holding Z to shoot these guards, and I end up just killing Val, failing the run. So I found that if I know, like, all right, this guy, or I think this guy's about to shoot me, I'm going to hold C up and I'm going to run forward just a little bit while I'm shooting my KF7. I don't get back boosted because I kill these guards in time, so I end up running into the hallway. But I get these two guards. I think it's good that... Sorry, let me back up. To maybe back up a little bit instead of going like fully out to like the line of sight from all these guards, to back up just a little bit. Ideally, you can kill one guard at a time, kind of slicing the pie to see one guard at a time. I've got two guards looking at me. Need to reload. I mean, RNG wise, like it could happen where these guys just start mowing me down. But I'm holding Z. I'm gonna try to kill these guards as quick as possible. This guy's kind of body blocking, so gotta wait to kill this dude. If guards are body blocking, that's just you know, that sucks. They will do that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes it feels like you're getting really bad guard animations and you're just unable to kill the guards in time because the previous one who's dying is just body blocking, which is unfortunate. I think SA versus Double O, the protect is a bit harder, and definitely feels like you run out of time quicker. After I've killed every guard I've seen, I'm looking to the right here to see if there's any more. Sometimes it's like there's leftover ones over here, so it's good to check. Around like 25, 24, this message is gonna switch to the question mark message. So if that happens, or not if that happens, when that happens, it's time to start running towards the wall and against the wall in left strafe. And I think having like this splotch right here is helpful as just kind of a reference. You're waiting for the next message to come up. Coming up at 20. So once you see this, it's time to start pressing Z. And I use those words because you don't want to time it so that you press Z before and then right when this message comes up, that's when you're slapping. To have the timing right, and I think to be maybe even a little bit on the safer side, you're not even pressing Z until this message pops up. Then you're pressing Z, then the slap will come. So if you're trying to time it like beforehand, where you press Z beforehand when you're expecting it, you're gonna potentially slap too early and mess up your timing leaving. So yeah, so once you see this message, start pressing Z. You're holding it down, slap twice. Then it's time to leave into right strafe. Sometimes there's a guy here. Sometimes there's a dude to your left. Usually there's a dude to the left, actually. Depending on how they're shooting, you should expect boosts. You're aiming for like this corner. Yeah, if you see a guard behind or to the left shooting at you, you should be prepared for a boost. and usually it's a boost that's gonna knock you off your path. Like rarely I felt like I got a boost where it was perfect, where I got boosted across or like along this wall and it was able to turn. Usually it's like you get boosted a little bit to the left or something. But yeah, sharp turn again. I think these two turns are where you can lose a lot of time. And this is something that's super within your control. There are a lot of things that aren't within your control in terms of like the boosts and back boosts in this level. So I definitely think it's important to I mean, you'll get better at this turn with experience. Like when I first was grinding SA, I was losing a lot of time on this turn. But if you want to go into like put on invisible and then just practice this turn to get better at it, like this is one of the things that is within your control that you can master, so that you have more of, or less things are up to chance in this level, you know. So sharp turns, the timer switch. Oh wow, so I do get down to 14. Maybe I did even hit 13 actually. Either way, yeah. If it's 214 and above, definitely play it out. If it's like high 213, I still think it's worth playing out. At least the first half of the next section, to just see if you might get some kooky boosts or whatever. But 214, like if you barely see a 13 on the screen before it switches, then I think you're okay to maybe play it out and see what happens on the first set of guards. But yeah, 214 or above, like I think that's ideal. If you got two boosts, if you got like one or two boosts before up to this point, and then you don't get a 214 switch, then that most likely means that you're losing time on the turn right beforehand. So if that's the case, if you're consistently not getting 214 switches, but you're getting like two boosts before this point, then it has something to do with your movement at the before this point. So you may have to clean up a turn or a line before this point. Because if you're getting like two boosts before, and even honestly maybe even one boost before this point, and you're not getting at least very high 213 switch, then I think your movement is not as clean as it needs to be. But you know, this is just like, I guess, a frame of reference in a way, because you can get crazy boosts later on in the level that could patch up sloppy movement at the beginning. But if you want to be like as efficient as possible in your runs, to where you're removing all like luck or as much RNG out of the level as possible, then obviously you want the best movement that you can have. So up to this point at least. So anyways, 214 switch ideally, or even better. We're passing this like gold door here to the left. And I would look up at like 5850, or starting to look up at 5850. And if you look up too early, you're gonna load a guard that's gonna be like coming around this corner and in your way. I don't think you need to look up that quickly. Like, let's watch it in real time. I don't think it needs to be like that quickly, but obviously you don't want to look up for longer than you really need to. So, quick lookup, doesn't have to be that quick, but quick lookup. You're running along kind of this like curb. You don't want to, you can get stuck on this corner, so you don't want to be too far to the left on this corner. Turn, aiming for this corner now. If you had looked up too early, sorry, let me go back. If you had looked up too early, this guard would have come around here probably, or could have come around here and started shooting you and back boosting you. Another turn to this corner and into that corner. So for if you had lured a guard in the first cutscene, then he can be like here at this point, and I think compared to SA, you get boosted more often. At the beginning of this, I had like, or at the beginning of when I was grinding this, I was looking, when this guy was here, I was like looking planar, or I don't know if that's the word, like looking straight up, hoping to get like a more consistent boost, but I don't actually think you need to do that. So I still think this amount of look at him is good. Sometimes he doesn't boost you. It's kind of unfortunate, but like feels like 50% or like 60% of the time he does. Sometimes there can be a grenade launcher guard here. If he shoots one like in your path, your run is just over. Because if you run through it, you're cooked. If you try to run around it, you're going to lose a lot of time. I still think it is maybe worth just running into it and dying, though. Because if it's too far to the... If he shoots that grenade launcher to the right, it is possible that you get by and maybe catch a boost here. Like, I think that happened one time, and it was, like, super sick. But, like, the large majority of the time, if he shoots something here, you're cooked. You're gonna die. Usually there's just a KF7 guard, in which case you really don't want to get back boosted. I don't know if there's any sort of, like, evidence to say that this is the best way to do it, but I found in my experience that the farther off the wall I was getting back boosted more. Like if I was able to like hug the shit out of this wall, it felt like I got back boosted more. I don't know if that's like vibes or whatever, but I don't know if there's actual evidence on that, but it felt like if I could hear this guy shooting at me and I just decided to hug this wall, it felt like I got back boosted less. So turn. Sometimes this guy's like right fucking here and it's annoying, but I think you just take this line anyways. Hopefully it doesn't catch you. It's super rare. Turn. This is a pretty standard line. Sharp turn. So you're listening for, let me turn up the audio a little bit. Yeah. So you're running, you turn. At this point, you want to start listening for what these guards are doing over here. If you're hearing rockets at this point, then you know the guards on the next street are gonna be KF7 guards. I don't hear rockets, so I know the next set of guards are going to be rocket guards. These guards can do a bunch of different things. Like, well, one, if you had the alternate cutscene, the one that I didn't have at the beginning, and you had lured guards, sometimes you lure all of them and there's no one here. Sometimes you lured like one guard, in which case there's only like two here. I didn't get that cutscene, so I have all three of these here. So sometimes you get back boosted here. I actually feel like it's more even compared to SA in terms of getting back boosted here. But yeah, you're just aiming for like here. If you know this dude's gonna back boost you, then maybe you're going a little bit to the left. Like I've seen runs on the rankings where it's like, you know, this dude's gonna like boost you, like he's like walking or running at you and shooting, so you know he's boosting you sideways, so you want to like correct by going to the left. But I think that probably comes with like experience. But if things seem to be going according to plan, you're not going to get back boosted, then going like just to the left of this is, I think, ideal. It does feel like you get boosted after these barricades more often on 00. So I do get one here. So yeah, so these next guards are rocket guards, and I have 4 bars of health. So if I have like 2 bars of health here, I'm 100%, even if it's rocket guards, I'm going for this BA. If you have KF7 guards, pretty much always going to get this body armor. In this run, it's rocket guards, and I have 4 bars. So if I don't go for the BA, I have a better line, but I also risk dying later in the level. So it's riskier to not get the body armor. I don't really know if I was making a conscious effort. I just thought, all right, it's rockets. I'm just skipping BA. And I think picking up this BA is also kind of, you get experience with it, where at first when I was grinding this, I was turning too hard to the point where you even get like stuck on the wall and you don't even make it around the corner. So obviously that's too tight of a right turn. But if you're too far left, you don't even pick it up. So there's definitely a balance that you have to kind of feel out. To where, yeah, you kind of hit the corner and you rub against the next wall to your right just a little bit, and then as soon as you pick up the armor, you adjust left. If you're going for the BA and it's a rocket, if it's a rocket set of guards and you're picking up the BA, where are we here? If I turned, then you would turn to get the BA, and then you would go like straight, like perpendicular with this wall. Not perpendicular, sorry. Parallel with the wall until they all shoot like their first round, and then you adjust straight across. But I think if you take a line to here to just to the right of the barricade, you will not get hit by rockets. If you're getting killed by a rocket, like you'll get killed by this guy to the right. If you get killed by that, your line is too far to the right. Like you took too sharp a turn, or your line is too far to the right. I definitely don't think it's a RNG thing where sometimes the guards have better aim or whatever. I used to think that was the case when I first started running this, but if you take the correct line, you're not going to get killed at all. So line to here. Now we're turning to get like here-ish. And now we're going to adjust a little bit to the right to get to this corner. And you'll hear these guards shooting a lot, and you know, sometimes they'll hit this wall and you'll get boosted to the right. And it feels like if you can maybe catch it, and it'll be overall positive for you that to get boosted off these rocket launchers. But a lot of times they just kind of like shoot and they won't even hit this wall. But yeah, if anything, getting when they shoot against this wall, getting boosted from the explosion kind of just feels neutral because it sends you so far to the right, like off your corner. But if you do get boosted by that, you gotta adjust so that you can get to this corner as soon as possible. And I had mentioned my essay video, but I think I'll just go over it anyways. If this is KF7 guards, you're definitely getting the BA. And then you're aiming for like here again. And I think this amount of look down is okay. And you're like more often than not you're gonna get back boosted. Maybe twice, maybe 3 times. If you get back boosted like 3 times before you even hit this barricade, you probably are just cooked. You gotta restart. But what I didn't realize, I think, when I was doing essay, but now had picked up on Double O, is that you're looking down. So I thought every single time I was getting hit before this barricade, I thought that was a back boost from these guards, but I think actually you can get boosted from behind. So even if you get hit before this barricade, it could actually be you're getting boosted through. So if you get hit like 2 times before this barricade, it doesn't mean you got like back boosted twice necessarily. It could mean you actually got like back boosted and front boosted. Yeah. So aiming for like this area on KF7 or yeah, on either set, but KF7s and even maybe a little bit to the right because you could get back boosted and then get caught on this corner. But as soon as you turn here, like we're hypothetically thinking this is KF7 guards. You do need to be careful about you could get back boost you could get boosted from one of these guys behind you. And I did have a good amount of runs where I just straight up lost it because I got boosted into this barricade right here and got caught for like a second. So even maybe taking this turn like slightly more left if you think you're going to get boosted. So if you take a line that's a little bit further to the left, you do technically lose a little bit of time, but I think it actually might be worth it on a KF7 guard set so that you don't get boosted into this barricade and lose the run. But yeah, and when again with the hypothetical on this being KF7 set, you pretty often will get boosted like right at the corner, and so you got to be ready to. You should be ready to adjust in whatever way you need to, like adjust to the left because a lot of times you will get boosted like right at this corner, and then you'll get boosted far out to the right and you'll have to adjust. I did have runs where I was kind of testing being at this point or like wanting one more boost. And so instead of turning like directly left, I had kind of hung out a little bit more because I could hear these guards shooting at me. And like more often than not, you can catch this extra boost, but I don't know if it ultimately is that much faster. Or faster at all. It actually might be faster to just cut it as close as possible. But if you do hang out here just like a little bit longer, you can catch an extra boost. So but yeah, we're turning left. We're going to this corner here. And it actually might be 2 separate turns as you hit this corner. Like turn to here and then to here. But I think this feels maybe a little bit more in. I'm not sure. Turning, now we're going to here. And you can get caught on that corner. Like you might have to just feel it out to see how close you can get. Like, and it even differs with like your TV. Like it looks different. I had done this run on like my CRT that in my apartment, and then I had been back home for a wedding, and I was playing on like this widescreen at my mom's house, and I could take this corner sharper on my CRT compared to like on the widescreen. But anyways, yeah, so you can get caught on this pretty easily. So I think it's safer to just go wide, a little bit wide. Same with this corner, even more maybe this corner, and then kind of adjust to being closer to the wall. Now here, sharp turn. What I had watched some more 00 runs when I switched from SA to 00, and I had noticed that some people had been looking up later than when I was looking up at SA. Like in my mind, on SA when I was doing this, when I got to this corner, I was looking up. Like as soon as I hit this corner, I'm looking up, then back down. But then when I was watching 00 runs, I was seeing people, they run a bit further past and then look up. So essentially you're looking up to load this guard. If you look up too early, he will be like right in your face, like on this corner. And if you like look up later, not at all, he's going to be like way far to the left, and it'll be like much less likely that he's going to boost you. You can definitely take this corner tighter than what I had done. Let me watch this back in full speed. Turn, look up. Yeah, you can definitely take it a bit sharper than I did. Going to this corner now. So this dude can have, sometimes this guy isn't even here. But if he is here, sometimes he can have a grenade launcher, or he can have KF7. If he has a grenade launcher, I like to like slightly adjust, like very, very slightly adjust my line for like a little bit, like right when he shot, and hoping that he wouldn't, that if, you know, the alternative being if I had just kept my line, he would just kill me. But it kind of feels, again, I don't really know the evidence. It kind of feels vibes based, but felt like if I had like shimmied a little bit after he shot, maybe I was going to catch a boost instead of a boost from his grenade launch instead of just straight up dying. But most of the time, or actually not even most of the time, sometimes you do die to his grenade launch, and that just sucks. But yeah, if you had looked up earlier, like before the barricade, if you looked up too early, he would be like right in your way. So if he's like here by this point, then you know you looked up too early. And if you forgot to look up, or you look up too late, he'll be like farther to the left, which is not ideal. Like this is good, or like even maybe a little bit closer is nice. At this point, you're listening, and you're also, I'm looking at what he has, what weapon he has, and I'm listening. So KF7, and I hear at this point you hear rockets. If you don't hear rockets, like at this section, like around here, then you should expect it's gonna be KF7s, and you should expect to get back boosted. This guy starts shooting, and I get that boost from him, which is really nice. See what I think maybe looking up at the corner is better. I think that might be better, and loading this guy a little bit earlier, is that this boost felt like it was to the right. Like it felt more, it felt a little bit more to the right than like a straight boost. But it's still really nice to get that boost there. I am like shooting here, but I don't really know if that does anything, to be honest. Like I think I'm luring a boost here, but I really could not say if that's actually accurate. I think if you don't shoot, I think you still probably get this boost. If you die to a rocket launcher, then your line's too far to the left. I'm even maybe a little bit further right here. I'm sort of shooting to try to lure another boost behind me, but I don't think that actually does anything. Or I'm not sure if that does anything. Yeah, if you get killed by this, you're too far to the left. You're aiming for like this corner right here. When you're getting up to this guy, you want to shoot him. I don't think you necessarily have to kill him. In fact, I wouldn't even worry about trying to kill him, but just shooting him to where he doesn't shoot his grenade or his rocket launcher, I think is ideal. And also shooting right here like a burst is you're going to try to lure another boost. So turning, I was a little far to the left, so I didn't get this BA, but I think usually you will just get the BA. Like with a normal turn, you will get the BA. I also think now I'm starting to realize that I don't know if the audio of this is even playing, of the run is playing, but so if there were sections earlier where I was like, if you listen closely, then you know I'm cooked, because I don't think they can hear, or I don't think anyone can hear this. This audio is not getting captured, that is. But anyways, yeah, if this is KF7, sorry, let me back. Turn the barricade, turn. If this is KF7 guards, I'm expecting to get back boosted at least once. But it doesn't mean the run is like dead. There's definitely runs on the leaderboards that are KF7 guards here, and you're fine. But like sometimes this dude just walks towards you with the KF7, back boosts you 3 times or whatever, and the run is done. But there are other times where he like rolls or just some weird shit and you don't even get back boosted, and that's actually really nice. If this is KF7s, then you also can maybe get a boost from this dude. And it'll be like a boost which sends you like around the corner and off your line. You got to be ready to adjust. I was a bit farther to the left, so I didn't get this BA, but look, I didn't need it. I didn't absolutely need it. It would have been nice just in case, because I have lost runs to just dying at like the very end, which sucks. But this guy's running and shooting. If you see that, or walking and shooting, then you're probably gonna get boosted. If he's just like standing over here shooting, then you're probably not gonna get boosted, unfortunately. Aiming for like this corner here. That guy was running at me, so I did get that boost, which was nice. Turn, aiming for like the left of the Jeep, and these guys are probably shooting at you. If you're hearing a lot of consistent shooting, then you may get boosted to the left, and you have to be ready for that. At this point, I usually would fire burst here, just like hoping to lure a boost. I don't know if that actually does anything though. But yeah, if you're parallel with like the side of this Jeep, then I think that's a good line to end your run. At this point, just looking straight down. I did get boosted. Compared to SA, I think you do get boosted more often at this point. Yeah, and if you're running straight parallel with this curb, you're doing it wrong. You want to be more to your line to the right. Yeah. So let me go ahead and play this back, and then I'll try to maybe, if I forgot anything. I got this cutscene, so I don't have to lure the boost. We're in 2.4 cinema right now. Watch that cutscene. Watch this cutscene. I'm holding left now on my primary controller, because we're in right strafe right now. Pulling left. I held it too long, so I had to adjust a little bit, but just adjust it so you're going to be on this line. If you have to adjust too much, then you really don't want to have to adjust too much. If you do, then you need to work on getting your line set in the first place. Sharp turn. Hopefully these guys don't back boost you or get in your way. You're aiming for like here-ish. Turn. This is a super important part. This guy, you need to react to this dude if he's right here. You need to be ready to react either going left or right. Ideally, you want to be like going left, but if he's in your way, you'll have to go right and then adjust your line. But if you have to go right and left to adjust your line, you're still fine, I think. Okay, we're going to this corner. You'll know if you see your guy like getting, if you see Bond getting like caught on the corners, you'll know, and you need to fix your line. Compared to SA, you more often get boosted like before you even turn the corner, and you have to be ready to adjust based on your boost around the corner. You're not aiming your line too far left. You don't want to get caught. You also don't want to get back boosted by this dude. So it's not a perfect line to this corner. It's to the right a bit. Now you're getting ready to turn in. I turn in a little bit early here because compared to SA, you can get boosted really late. And if you don't react quickly, getting boosted this late, you're just gonna end up in this door frame. So yeah, I think on 00 that happens a lot more often than compared to SA. I turned a bit early expecting the boost, but it's fine. Turn again, you're aiming for like here. You want to run up, like, you don't want to pause like before you hit the wall. I'm like running up, now I'm hitting pause. Switch to 1.2. I'm holding left strafe now. 3 to 4 strafes here, or as many as you need to get into the corner. If you're looking down, I think you have a better idea of spatial, like, or you have better spatial awareness. You have better idea of how much space you have before you hit this wall. But I think you can do it. You can do it whatever way you feel most comfortable with that gets you to this corner. If you're too far into the corner, you're gonna have to warp yourself out to the left, which is just like really not great. But I mean, you can save runs, but not ideal. Best case scenario, you like sort of get caught in the corner, but you warp to the right by switching your weapons and trying to run past Val. But I think with experience, you get a really good feel for how much space you have, and you can kind of just run out just as he's about to get you caught here. Like if I had strafed him a little bit further and then tried to run out, I would have gotten caught. At this point, expecting 2 guards. Just have 1 right now. You want to get the KF7 as quick as possible. Usually you'll have 2 guards. You'll want to kill 2 guards with 1 pistol before switching to KF7. Sometimes you kill both guards, no KF7, reload. You can try to run out into the hallway to grab the KF7 then come back in, but you might get shot. Or you can, if you don't get the KF7 yet, you could try to kill more guards with a pistol until you finally get one. But if you're doing the whole section with the pistol, I think you are going to run out of time. So ideally there's 2 guards, kill them both with 1 clip of the pistol, pick up the KF7, and then you want to like piecemeal your way out. Hopefully just having one guard at a time being able to see you. But compared to SA, like 00 protect is, I think, a bit harder. So You want to be shooting, going for chest and headshots, because you can just unload like clips of your pistol onto arms, and then you don't kill like you kill like 1 or 2 guards before before the protect ends. So I mean, it does feel sometimes like you just get absolutely fucked by the guards RNG, and you just don't have enough time. But running out, killing guards, aiming the shots towards the chest and head, like you're essentially like you're bringing your aim up as you're shooting each person, like starting center and then slowly aiming your shots like up. Guards can body block, and that's just annoying. That happens. Once you think you have all the guards, look right just to make sure. Sometimes there's some in the distance, sometimes there's some here. If there's some here, then you need to reload and deal with them quickly. They're like out here, you can just kind of stay out here, and then compared to SA, like if you stay out here and there's guards in the distance shooting, you're not gonna get hit. Or if you do, it doesn't matter. Like you have plenty of health. On Double O, it's a little bit. You definitely can get hit even if they're way out here. But if you want to hang out for like a hit, then that's fine. Just so they see you and they like stop to shoot at you. Because if they don't see you, if you run in and they don't see you, they're just gonna keep running, and then they can screw up your exit. So out here at 24-ish, this is gonna switch to the question mark message. In which case you want to be strafing to the left. Having this mark here is a okay reference. You're waiting to see this message, at which case you're going to start holding Z and slapping twice. Sometimes this is definitely a difference between SA and Double O. Like way more often on Double O, killing the guards takes longer, and you aren't able to get to the wall and slap in time. In which case, if when that happens, then generally you just run against the wall. If you're not able to get to the wall in time before you're able to slap it, before you see this message and are able to slap, then another rule of thumb is to just run against this wall until 219.00, like flat, and then leave. And sometimes that you still end up leaving too early and you fail. But that's just, I think, part of Double O is guards take longer to kill, so sometimes you don't get to the wall in time to slap, in which case you just leave at 219 and hopefully it's okay enough time. Come out, sometimes there's guards shooting at you, you got to be ready for a boost, but sharp turns, definitely get better at these turns with practice, but that's fully within your control, so you can definitely practice that. 14 switch is good. We're passing this golden door at 58.50. We're gonna look up. Doesn't have to be that quick, but turn. If you had lured a guard from the first cutscene, you'll be like here-ish. In which case, you can expect a boost. Sometimes there's if there's a KF7 guard here, I think hugging the wall is good. Sometimes there's a grenade launcher guard, and you can get a boost. You can either die or you can actually get a pretty sick boost from it. I don't know if it was luck for me, but on my Double O, I definitely got. On my SA, I think I got that boost maybe once or twice, and on Double O, I got it 4 or 5 times. Returning, and sometimes when on the first cutscene, if you had lured guards, they can be like here too. So you can catch a boost like at this point, which is pretty sick. Sharp turn. This point you're listening for to see if it's KF7 or rockets. In this run, I don't hear rockets here, so I know it's KF7s for the next set. Aiming for like here. Compared to SA, you definitely get boosted more often here. Sharp turn. If your line is good, you're not going to get killed by the rockets. Aiming for like just the right of this barricade. Turn. Now we're aiming for like just the left of this barricade. Turn again. Now we're aiming for just the right of this corner. Turn, turn, turn again. You can get caught here, so you just gotta have to feel it out. You might have some runs in the beginning where you get caught on this, and you just need to learn to go a little bit further to the right. And same with this corner as well. Turn at this point, or maybe a little bit later, is time to look up real quick. Look up and then back down. You can take this a bit closer. Yeah, go around here. This point, you want to see what this guy has in his hands while simultaneously listening to what's up here. This guy's a grenade launcher. There's a chance you're just going to get killed immediately. Ideally, he has a KF7, and he's getting ready to shoot you, in which case you can expect a boost. Got a boost there. At this point, I heard rockets, so I know I can't have my line too far to the left. Otherwise, I'm just going to get murked by the rocket. This point, you want to shoot a burst into this guy. Sharp turn. Hopefully this guy's running at you and shooting you. If that's the case, or walking at you shooting you, then you may get a boost. Just your line. You want to be just to the left of this Jeep. These guards at the end are shooting at you, and more often compared to SA, that they will actually hit you. Sometimes that looks like if they shoot early, sometimes that looks like you get shot into here and your run's dead, which is sad, but can happen. Sometimes that means you get boosted right here, which means you just kind of like rub up against the wall, which feels more just like a neutral thing. I would like to shoot a burst here, and then once you get to like, you want to be parallel with this Jeep, and you can see the Jeep is not like parallel with the street. It's like a little bit turned, so as you should be as well. Once you get to the Jeep, you should start looking down. Compared to SA, you definitely get boosted a lot more often at this section. And then hopefully you get 155. So I don't really know what's normal, but for SA, I played SA first to get 155, and that took a couple weeks of just playing. Like getting 156 felt definitely did not feel that difficult. So cutting that 1 second is it's a lot. Even just for 1 second feels really difficult. And 156 is not worth points at this point. So But for double O, like once you do SA, double O feels like you get more runs, where pre-hut you're getting 2, sometimes 3 boosts before pre-hut, or before the hut, and then even more boosts on the KF7 sections. So and more boosts from luring that first guard compared to SA. But the harder part is the protect, in which case you have to be a lot more diligent about one, just shooting quicker, shooting for body shots, headshots, ducking away from multiple guards if you're just gonna get spammed by like 3 guards that are shooting at you. And usually you will have to pick up the BA, the first BA. Second one, you'll probably just get regardless. If you absolutely need the second one, and then you may have to adjust your line a little bit further to the right when you're turning that corner. Usually you will have to get the first BA from what I found. So, but I don't really know what's ideal in terms of going for double O or SA first. I did SA to double O, and like double O, I spent maybe 4 hours after doing all that grinding on SA and got this time, but I wasn't recording because I'm a fucking idiot and was I had stopped recording to clip a turbo run for League. So that felt bad. So I just kind of casually played this after getting this to just go for a dupe. So it definitely feels like it's easy once you have a lot of experience on SA. Then going to this, as long as you're more, you pay more attention and you are more like locked in for the protect, then it should not be as difficult to get your double at 155. So, and honestly, I think even with SA, like if you're getting like 156 like pretty early, like I think you could even get 155 within like a couple hours of getting 156. Like you can have a run where things just work out. Like things just really work out for you in terms of boosts compared to back boosts, and you get 155. Like that does not seem like out of the ordinary. So you really can just like luck in as long as you do the lines right and you do the protect okay, then like I think you can get 155 on SA or double O in not a lot of time, or at least it's not as much time as it took me. So trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I hang up these runs for the foreseeable future. I think that's it, honestly. I think switching to cinema really helped, and only playing out runs that got to 214 for the Switch, I think, was the two main things, at least for SA.